Alright, what's up guys? It's GSR here. So I guess it's about time that I talk about things that I like about Mortal Kombat 11. So the first thing I want to talk about is the graphics. I think the graphics are actually really amazing in this game. The level of detail. I think that the graphics bring this game out a lot more. It's a pretty flashy looking game in my opinion. So it seems like they focused a lot on making the game pretty and stuff, which they did a really great job at doing that. There are certain maps that I actually do like in this game. So one of the maps is Wuxi Dragon Grotto. Another one is the Soul Chamber. I like Deadpool. I also like Retrocade. This is by far my favorite map in this game because of all the references that they have. The tournament map, the only reason why I like the tournament map is mainly because of the arcade things that they have in the back where they're referencing their past NRS titles that they've actually had out. So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to it and I'm gonna show you guys like what I'm talking about, which you guys should already know what I'm talking about. So as you can clearly see, you can actually see actual gameplay, right, of basically classic titles, right? And I think that this stage is very cool, mainly because they actually have that up here, right? So it's just very cool to see, right? It's very cool to see that, you know what I'm saying? And it just reminds me of the past a lot, right? Um, so that is a very cool thing that they did, and they also give you a really cool stage fatality, um, where you can use the arcade machine, which is basically a reminder of what Liu Kang could actually do, where he would drop down an arcade machine from like Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and he would drop it down and he would kill you basically off of it, right? So I think that was a pretty nice touch. There's definitely some references in here from towards the past games. So I think that the certain stages in this game are actually really amazing to look at. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Now, another thing I'm going to talk about is fatal blows. Right now, there are certain fatal blows that are extremely underwhelming. A prime example is Sub Zero. I'm not too big on Sub Zero's Fatal Blow. I think his Fatal Blow is pretty boring and whack to look at, even though it's very unique. And that's the thing that I want to talk about is that um,
Johnny Cage.
every character's Fatal Blow is very unique to them, which makes the character feel a lot more alive, and it makes the character very unique, and it makes them feel different from other characters. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that is actually really cool. I think one of the most creative Fatal Blows, in my opinion, if I'm being honest, um, I would have to say if I had to name off at least certain characters, I think the first one I'm going to talk about is Jax. The
Jax.
reason why I'm going to talk about Jax, right, is because Jax actually has a fatal blow where competitively um, it benefits him, right? Now, I do think that this is kind of OP a little bit, mainly because of the fact that like his arms heat up and then he's decently close to you to where he can get like, the throw crushing blow if he hasn't used it, or if he uses the command grab against you, that could hurt really bad. Or he could hit you with that multi-hitting combo string, which I think is his 4-2-1+3 combo string. And I do think competitively that's kind of dumb, but I do think it's extremely creative. You understand what I'm saying? How his arms heat up as he's whooping your ass, and I think that's really cool. You know what I mean? And like I said, I think the fatal blows are very dope because it's very unique to that character, which makes them feel very different from other characters. So I will admit that all of these characters feel very different from one another, playstyle wise, in a sense. However, there is similarities and stuff like that, but for the most part, when it comes to certain shit that they do, they feel dramatically different from one another, and I can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It adds a little bit more depth into the game. So, like, what I'm gonna do here, right, or what I'm gonna say here is gonna prove my point even further about what I'm talking about. My character is playing MK11, right? Like I have to play neutral, you know what I'm saying, in order to do shit, right? Now, Jax is a MKX character, right? And he has to get in on his opponent in order to do what he wants to actually do, right? So there's two totally different play styles here, which is actually really cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like in MKX, I felt like the play styles were different a little bit, but they felt the same. Most of the characters were just purely just rush down. Like it didn't seem like, you know, the characters felt completely different. Even though the move list and the variation just in general was different, they all kind of felt the same a little bit. And what's interesting about this game is that, you know, it's like the developers are saying if you want to mix, you gotta kind of work to get in. You know what I mean? Against characters like Johnny, where Johnny, you know, has to play neutral. Now, how should I put this? I still don't like the fact that they have mix-up characters in this game. Um, and I'm still gonna feel that way because I really don't like it. Um, but hopefully you guys can kind of see like what I'm talking about. Now, another thing I want to talk about is when you pick your character, right? Um, a lot of these characters have things that are very unique to them. So Kung Lao has the ability to do this when you pick him, and it's a very Kung Lao type thing for him to do, right? If I was to pick Spawn, right, you can see how like his chains come out and his cape and it covers like the other side, and it's really cool. And I like the idea that they make it to where you can actually see your character's customization basically. I think that that's actually really creative, or and actually just smart in general that they have that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, that's something else that I wanted to bring up. Like as you can clearly see, this is a very Joker like type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you see what he's doing. That's a very Joker like type thing. You know what I mean? And then he comes and then he just starts smiling and shit like that. And it's very cool to see something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Kano. This is a very Kano like thing that he's about to do here. Like you see what I'm saying? Like if we look at Sonya, you see what I'm saying? So it's very cool how it's very unique from character to character. Aaron Black, the cowboy dude. You see what I'm saying? Like Geras. Like look at this badass shit right here. I mean that's badass. that's badass. I don't care what nobody said. That's one of the coolest ones in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like they make it very unique and they make the character feel extremely different. And that's what I'm saying. That is something that they did very well, I think. From other NRS titles, in my opinion. I think they did this extremely well. Now, another thing I'm gonna show off is the characters list, right? So I'm gonna show you guys something that's really cool about this, right? And like I said, this makes the characters feel really different. So we'll go with the homie JC real quick, right? So you see how like he's standing there and shit, like he's smiling, he's just casually looking around and shit like that. Or like sometimes he'll kind of do like he'll kind of jump up with his hands a little bit and shit. Yeah, like that. You see what I'm saying? So so what I like about this is like the intros that they add in and the outros. Of course, there are certain outros and intros that are better than others, but it makes the character feel very unique and different. You know what I'm saying? So as you can clearly see, that's a Johnny Cage like thing.
Page 62, Johnny Cage dies. Is someone high?
That's a very you see what I'm talking about? This is a very because he's a cocky nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it makes him feel more alive. You know, like. And I really like what they did with this. You know what I'm saying? With the intros and the outros like this, it's very different. And I like how you can pick your own intros and outros for your character, that the ones that you actually like. And what's cool about this is that they took the time to add many different intros and outros. They didn't just add one or two and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are certain costumes in the game that I do like. right? Um, but some of them are just reskins. Like a lot of these are just reskins, which that's the disappointing part about this is that the skins don't feel different. They're just a different color, and the different color can make your character look cooler with that default outfit that they actually have. So like if I was to go to this one right here, see how much cooler this one looks? You see what I'm saying? In terms of color, I mean, all they had to do was add, like, you know. But I see what they did there, but it's just kind of like it's really underwhelming to see how lazy they got with the skins a little bit. But for the most part, some skins in the game, especially with certain gear pieces, make the character look extremely badass, and they look really dope. So that is kind of cool. But I'm still on the fence about, you know, the way they implemented it in this game. Now we're gonna talk about the gear system real quick, right? So what I like about the gear system is the animations that your character does. Johnny Cage has some of the best ones, I think. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. See how he cleans his glasses off, and then they allow you to pick different glasses. If I was to actually do this, he would actually do that right there. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's actually pretty cool, right? My favorite one is this one right here. That's fucking funny. And then what's cool is that once you go back up, this is what he does. So it's very cool. Like I said, it's very unique from character to character. Like if I was to, let's see here. Who do I want to use here? Like I'll use Joker for this, right? So if I do this.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's very unique to that character, and I do think that this was very creative. Whoever thought about this, they did a really good job with this. When it comes to the animations, you know what I'm saying? When you're picking gear pieces, I think that this is very unique. Like if I pick the Kane shit, see how they all do different shit. Like call now. I mean that is creative as fuck, dude. That is insanely creative, right? You know what I'm saying? And then when you back out, he just goes back into it a little bit, kind of like a Jokerish type thing. And then I back out. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that I mean, personally me, I don't know about you guys, but that's actually pretty dope, just in general. And like I said, certain intros and outros are better than other characters. Spawn has one of my favorite ones, which is Unmasked. This is one of my favorite ones. And the artwork and the graphics itself just makes the character feel so alive. I mean, this one's badass as well. So yeah, like I said, and what's cool is that they give you certain references as well. Like prime example is this right here. Who remembers this nigga right here? Because I do, right? And like I said, they give you certain references, which everybody should already know by now who I'm going to, which is basically Aaron Black, right? And he kills off Husao, right? The reason why I like that is because I don't think Husao was that good of a character in a sense, but the way he looks in this game, he looks pretty cool, even though he's dead. He looks pretty cool in this game. You see what I'm saying? And it's very unique to that character. You know what I mean? Like he got like the bounty hunter shit, and then it shows like either it shows your face, and he's like, oh, okay, so it's you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, man, intros and outros are pretty cool for the most part. Like when you go to the gear system and certain costumes, it's pretty cool, especially when you go to the gear system and you see like the characters' animations and stuff like that, like what they do when you press on the gear and then when you leave the gear. It's actually it's really cool. It's really dope. So now we're gonna continue. All right, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is throws. Throws are very unique from character to character. They have totally different throw animations, which is very unique for that character. And this is something that I can appreciate a lot because in past NRS titles, they did not have this. It was actually really stale and boring. And as you can clearly see here, it's very different character to character. And it's a very like type thing that a character would do, basically, with their moveset that they have that we all know and love, right? So that's something that I think is really interesting. Now, there are certain KBs that I find very interesting as well. So we're going to go with Spawn, Shang Tsung, or Shang Tsung and Spawn. Shang Tsung has a forward throw where he gets health from you, and a backwards throw. That's a very like Shang Tsung type throw, like sorcery, and I like how like they added a lot of oomph to that throw. You know what I'm saying? Right here, and he also has a cool brutality where he steals your soul as well. So I think that that was actually pretty cool that they add that. You know, they added that into the game. You know, and then Spawn, I like the fact that you know he teleports behind you, and like I said, it's just essentially like it's just very unique. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just very unique. It's very different, and I find that really cool. And then you know the KB requirement, right? Actually, what the fuck am I doing? The KB requirement and stuff like that for Spawn's throw is really cool because when his back is pushed into the corner, this creates a very interesting mind game with the opponent. And what I like about this though is that when he gets his KB, so actually I'll just do it this way. Actually, no. When he gets his KB, right? He gets 18%, but he's not getting 30%. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to actually work to get that damage. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, and what I mean by that, right, is like he has to actually combo you. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to actually combo you in order to even get to that damage. You know what I'm saying? Shang Tsung is another example as well. Now, I do think the requirement for Shang Tsung is very lackluster. I think it's lazy and I think it's fucked up. But what's cool is that you can actually get a combo off of your throws, basically, is what I'm talking about. So I think that that's actually pretty cool. Certain combo strings are actually really dope in this game as well. Shang Tsung has a lot of cool combo strings. Like this one is really cool. I like this one. Certain normals are really cool, how they added some oomph to the normals to make the character feel more alive, like, you know, the snake factor right here. Certain fatal blows have certain references to special moves that the characters used to have as well. A prime example is Melina. And then we'll go with Fujin. I think these two are like the obvious examples and stuff like that. And I really like how they brought back Fujin's arrow. I think that that's really cool. I also think that, you know, certain fatal blows are dope just in general. And as you can clearly see, this is by far one of the best fatal blows in the game. It's a very Melina-like type fatal blow, in my opinion. And then, like, if we look at Fujin's fatal blow, actually, I gotta fucking... Why is there locks on there? I've never understood why they had that on there. But anyway, oh, okay. But as you can clearly see, right, some of these fatal blows are badass, and I like how they utilize, you know, the stuff that they had and made this happen. So it's really cool. Like I said, like it's a very Fujin-like fatal blow, and I don't have a problem with it at all. So that's a win-win for them, in my opinion. What else is there? I like the idea that this is a more vanilla type Mortal Kombat. Of course, it can be a little bit more faster paced because this is a bloody type of game and gory type of game, so it makes sense for it to be a little bit more faster paced, but a sprint button is not necessary at all, in my opinion. Wave dashing is good enough because in Deadly Alliance, that game was decently fast paced when you would wave dash side to side. Mortal Kombat 9 had by far one of the best movement systems in the game, and in Mortal Kombat period. Like the movement in that game was so good compared to this one. So I'm hoping with MK1 they end up reintroducing that. But for certain characters, they kind of give you the vibe of that, you know what I mean, because they can wave dash so well. Some characters just have better wave dashes than other characters, but it is what it is. What else is there, man? Certain combos are actually cool to look at in this game. I like the idea that they made it to where you could go for like you know, crushing blow combos. I thought that that was really cool. What they did with that is just the way they implemented it in this game was actually really terrible in terms of damage, and then certain requirements as well. In order for for you to get that stuff out. So I will say there are certain combos in this game that are actually pretty cool. Um, what else is there, man? Shit, I'm trying to think here. I'm literally trying to think here. I was about to tell y'all something, but I fucking forgot it. What else is there, man? Certain brutalities are pretty cool. Certain fatalities are pretty cool. The fight scenes in Mortal Kombat story mode is pretty cool, even though I don't respect the story mode in terms of like the logic behind a lot of shit that they're doing, right? So like what I'll do here, right, is like I'll go to one of my favorite fight scenes actually.
Winds of change.
So let's see if I can find it first.
Visions of empire.
Where the hell is it?
Of checkmate. Time's arrow.
Yeah, there it is. This is these fight scenes are badass. They're badass. Some of my favorites. He ate that shit.
Is he finished?
I am eternal, Fujin. My will and my strength infinite.
The voice actor for Gears is badass too. But I want you guys to think about this. This is a reference. This is a reference towards what exactly? Deception. Remember when Raiden and the Deadly Alliance duo with Shang Tsung and Quan Chi? Remember when they did that to Onaga and that shit still didn't work and Raiden had to come up with something? That's literally what this is a reference of. And then this shit was badass. This shit was badass. This shit was badass, man. Gears did some dirty shit that I ain't gonna cap. That is badass, bro. That is disrespectful as hell. That is badass.
Of all the Night Wolves I have fought, you are the fiercest.
It must be why the Great Spirit chose me to wear the mantle.
You are also anomalous. No one has ever escaped the void. Fight!
So yeah, like I said, the fight scenes are badass in this game. They're badass. I think their fight scenes just in general were always badass. So I mean that comes by default. I do like the way the menu system looks, how they add little sparkling effects to it. You know what I'm saying?
AI online.
So I think that's actually pretty cool as well. What else is there? I do like the idea that there is a flawless bot mechanic in the game instead of you being able to spam project. Well, I'll talk about that a little bit later on, but I like the idea that you can't spam armor. You know what I mean? I think that's actually pretty cool. Fatal blows are actually pretty cool, like I said, but there are certain ones that I find very interesting, such as Jax's fatal blow. Even though he's getting the full damage of a fatal blow, they give him the ability to reheat his arms 100%, which I do think is kind of cheap, but it is very creative. You have Jax, being able to do that, and then you have Johnny Cage and Joker being able to cancel. And Joker, he can actually get a crushing blow on his forward throw, which I find very interesting, or he could just combo you, or he could just cancel for just more pressure or commit, which I think is very creative, but it is very reckless in terms of balance when it comes to the competitive side. Johnny Cage is basically the same example. where you know he can get a KB as well if he opens you up and puts you into a combo. He can actually get more pressure on you. He can bait you and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting, just in general. And like I said, certain combo strings are actually really cool. I like Jax's 4-2-1+3 combo string. I think that's one of the best combo strings in the game. And like I said, you know, I do think certain skins like this one and certain certain gears pieces make the character look badass and cool. Like this one right here. Another example is Cabal. Cabal, if I pick this one right here, this one is actually really cool. I haven't changed it since I even changed it to this. So I've had this on him for an extremely long time. What else is there, man? I'm trying to think, because gameplay wise, I've already talked about the Fatal Blow and how I like the idea of the Fatal Blow being a thing instead of you being able to spam armor. I do like the defensive options to a certain degree, right? And I'm not talking about the forward roll. We can dismiss that bullshit right now. But I do like the idea that they give you the option to go for an up 2 and up 3. I do think the up 2s need to be buffed a little bit better, so that way it's not easy for the opponent just to jump upwards or over you, because it should be, the up 2 should be able to cover you when they're jumping. You know what I'm saying? I do like the fact that you have invincibility, basically, or invulnerability when you're, you know, with doing that up 3 and your character's in that animation and stuff. So I do think that that's actually pretty cool. Design wise, I think they did a good job with Terminator. Same thing with Rambo. You know what I'm saying? They have the actual voice actors for these characters. So I think that that's actually pretty cool what they did. I do think it's too many DLC characters, because this is 3 right here. And then this is 4 and 5. Yeah, so 5 outsiders. And yeah, they need to lower that up by like 2 at least. 2 at the max, in my opinion. Yeah, man. I think another thing I'm going to talk about is Rain. Rain is by far one of the coolest characters in the game. He's one of the funnest characters to use in the game. He's extremely flashy. Another character, which is one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat history, period, is Fujin. Fujin is another really cool character in this game, and he's flashy. Geras is another cool character. Cabal's really cool in this game. Noob Saibot is cool when you're doing like combos with him and stuff like that, with certain combo strings that you use with him. Gameplay wise, I do think he's kind of boring though, but combo wise, he's kind of entertaining. Joker is extremely fun to use in this game. Spawn, he's in the middle for me. I'm kind of neutral on him a bit. I think they could have did a better job with Spawn. I mean, especially since everybody's been asking for Spawn. But design-wise, they did an amazing job with him. Nightwolf is actually pretty enjoyable to use in this game and stuff like that. So there are certain characters in this game that are actually pretty fun to use, and they're not like boring to use and stuff like that. Like their play styles is what I'm basically talking about, which obviously everybody should know by now. What else is there? Certain crushing blows are actually pretty cool, like the arm breaks or the leg snaps and shit like that. They're pretty cool. What I like about the crushing blow system, just in general, is how you can combo into a case. So what I'll do here, right, is I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Purple rain. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace. Purple rain. That's my shit. I watched the movie when I was younger. I couldn't stop watching that movie when I was younger. What y'all know about that tape, that VR tape? What y'all know about that shit? And I'm still like a super young adult. It's just that, you know, I was born in '96, so I remember seeing that movie numerous times. Like I would always play that shit. It was one of my favorite movies. But anyway, so we're gonna do this here. All right. So that right there is pretty cool, right? And What I mean is that the fact that you can go for a fatal blow afterwards is just very cool. It's really sick, I think. The launchers in this game are very underwhelming. And the way that they did this is very underwhelming as well, because that shit that he has, the Ford 122, it's a pop-up, right? A meterless pop-up. And the problem that I have with it is the fact that it's like, it doesn't, it's not enough variety, you know what I mean? And it's very underwhelming. So like if I was to pick a character, right? Like if I was to actually pick a character to do like a crushing blow combo with, who do I want to do a combo with actually? I'm not sure actually. Who the fuck do I want to? Why not? Yeah, we'll do this.
Tank garage bunker.
Yeah, I do. Okay. So what's cool about this, right, is like now the combos are actually coming out, right? And this is the unfortunate part. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's cool, is how you can kind of do KB type combos like that. This is what captivated me in the beginning when the game actually came out. This is what I'm trying to say, because in the beginning when the game came out, I remember doing combos with Scorpion, and I was like, yo, that shit is sick, bro. How you can do that? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I remember doing this shit, and then like they turned around, right? And the more I was looking at characters' arsenals and shit, and what they had, it was getting very underwhelming to me, because it was like, yeah, I probably have to do that in the corner because he's too far away. Let me see. Is that even possible? I gotta get him close to me so that way I ain't got time for it, because I'm trying to multitask as I talk about this shit. So let's see here. It's probably not gonna work. He's too far away. It'll work, but it's like I don't think I'll be able to reach him. Damn, bro, you stiff as shit, Scorpion. I forgot there's certain timing with your shit. Yeah, see. Yeah. Maybe the back two could work, but then again, you guys kind of see like what I'm talking about. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about as well. But yeah, man, I think that's basically it. Like certain things that I like about the game. I mean, there's neutral in this game to a certain degree, but there's a lot of shit that just breaks neutral, and I don't know why NRS doesn't fix this problem so that way, you know, it can be a lot better than before. It just baffles me. But oh shit, I think that's it, man. Like I mean there's certain references in this game, you know, such as certain dialogues and stuff like that, and then, you know, certain special moves or combo strings that characters have. So it's interesting. There's certain things that I do like about that, but for the most part, yeah, I think this is everything that I like. I mean, this video has taken way too long because I was trying to think of everything that I do like about this game. Also, I do like the idea that they give you the ability to use your Fatal Blow when you're 30% lower, because in past NRS games, you wouldn't necessarily use your Fatal Blow like that. The problem, though, is that they made it to where it doesn't require you to use any resources, which is where the dilemma comes into play. If they were to change it, right, then, I mean, certain Fatal Blows are still basically destroying the neutral, in my opinion. So it's still kind of a problem, but that fix right there could be a lot better. You know what I'm saying? For the Fatal Blow system in this game is what I'm referring to. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's basically everything that I like about Mortal Kombat 11. I don't think there's anything else that I like about it, and I'm talking about it from a competitive side because I still think it's garbage. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys are being safe out there. Peace.